Bismillah. So we discussed Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen and mentioned that Rabb means the sustainer, the creator, the maintainer. So basically anything to do with the tarbiyah or raising something from the get-go, from the very inception, very beginning, all the way to raising it to its other phases. So the scholars split Tawheed into three types. So the Tawheed al-Rububiyyah is basically, from the word Rabb, is basically believing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only creator, the ultimate sustainer, and all of that. And then Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah is believing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the only one worthy of worship. And then Tawheed al-Asma' wa Sifat, which is the third type, basically means believing in that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, His names and attributes are unique to Him. An interesting reflection is that throughout history, most people that got messengers and got the message did not object to Tawheed al-Rububiyyah so much. It did happen, but not remotely as often as objection to Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Why? Because a person has a fitrah, and that fitrah, that natural instinct that Allah created in the person, helps you recognize what's true and what's false, what's moral and what's immoral. That's in the person already. And part of it is recognizing that things around you that are very highly designed, the temperature that you have on earth, the day, the night, the trees, all these things, the different creatures, the food chain, how everything is set up so accurately, is only to think that this has a designer. It's like any design that you see. If it's even a little bit complicated, you're not going to think that it came from nothing. So, or that it drew itself. It only makes sense that it does have a designer and it does have a creator. So Tawheed al-Rububiyyah wasn't as difficult to grasp as Tawheed al-Rububiyyah wasn't as difficult to grasp as Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah. Quraysh, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Zukhruf, He says, وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَهُمْ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ. If you ask them who created them or who created the heavens and the earth, they will say Allah. So they recognize that. However, they had huge issues with Tawheed al-Uluhiyyah, or basically worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. They wanted to worship their desires. They wanted to, YOLO. They didn't want to be told what to do and what not to do. They wanted to worship, people worshipped fire, the trees, the whatever. So where people were misguided, even people that didn't have messengers, Ahl Fatra as they call them, they worshipped something because they recognized that there was a greater power there. Maybe they just didn't know what that uluhiyyah is. So one of the main basically jobs of the messengers was to show people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and tell people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is. Allah says in Surah Ibrahim chapter 14, he captions a conversation that the messengers are having with the people, and they ask him, قالت رسلهم أفي الله شك. Is there a doubt in Allah? Like, is that even a question? Is that even a thing? Like, is there a doubt in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? As if the natural disposition is to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.